Hi everyone, this is Pam Meyer and this is my daughter Kelly Gould, and we are the co-owners of Bedrest Butler. And we thought we'd tell you our story of how Bedrest Butler came to be. I happened to be about, let's see, this was 2.5 years ago, right?
Right.
A little over 2.5, almost 3 years ago now.
2009?
Yeah, it was November, and my husband and I happened to be up in Mendocino. We were up there with friends, and I get the call that every mother dreads, the little wee voice on the phone going, "Mom, I'm in the hospital." And after a little bit of conversation, my next question was, "Do you want me to come?" And she goes, "Yes." So, of course, we packed up and drove all the way from Mendocino to San Luis Obispo. So when I got there, she was in the hospital, hooked up to IVs and catheters and looking very, very puny. She was, she had IV drip of magnesium sulfate, which they had given her in the hospital. Right. And you can kind of tell how that feels.
Yeah, so just went into the hospital in the middle of the night, just really scary time, just because I was contracting and I also had some blood clots. And so it was just one of those things where you kind of actually just become a little bit numb because you don't really know what's happening. Now the doctors are in there and you have IVs in you and you have medication. But they got me on some medication. It stopped. It's magnesium sulfate, which I think they still use today, but it's a pretty hardcore drug to help stop the contractions. And another drug called terbutaline, which also stops contractions. So we had interviews with or discussions with the NICU doctors, and he helped us rest easy about what might happen if the babies did come early, and then basically just kind of just sat there and accepted that, you know, we're in the best place possible and we just need to kind of just go through the motions until we can have the twins.
Mm-hmm. It, you know, to see your baby girl in the hospital like that with because it made her really hot, and it made her her eyes, yeah, the magnesium made her eyes half, you know, she looked like she was in a coma, and she couldn't raise her arms. And when I talked to the nurses about it, they said, yeah, it's like having fluid and IV. Yeah. So, you know, Kelly's condition was kind of more severe in her, we found out later, we didn't really know that at the time.
Right.
But we ended up kind of rotating the entire family, because one of the things we learned when you're in the hospital is, and this would pretty much be true even if you are on bed rest at home, but you need a village for sure. You need, especially when you're in the hospital though, you need advocates for you 24/7. And so we kind of pulled the whole family and all the friends, and we had people coming constantly, and she was hardly ever, just maybe a few days in the 63 days she was in the hospital was she ever completely alone.
And some of the best things about being in the hospital, well, best things about the bed rest part, which is kind of why we started this company, was all the thoughtful gifts and things that people brought, because there's a lot of people that will really come to your aid when you're in time of need. So I had a friend that sent me a bed tray, she sent me comfortable underwear, she sent me comfortable pajamas, food, cookies, baskets, and would call me every morning and every night before I went to bed. And so she was just kind of like a lifeline and a big support from that standpoint. And then just had friends just come bring me lunch, dinner, Starbucks. My mom would come and paint my toes. My dad brought me Starbucks when he came. I had Christmas in the hospital, so I was on Skype and watching my kids open the Christmas presents. And so you just do what you need to do, and I just watched every single reality TV show known to man, and that's just what I did. I zoned out and I got through it. And
yeah. And so, you know, I think that's what spurred us on. Was the highlight of Kelly's day was when she would get a present.
Yes.
And it was something nice besides the scratchy hospital sheets or the, you know, the trays that the hospital has that are the wrong height, and
right.
And she had a little refrigerator, so we'd bring all kinds of food and yummy things. And then on the other side of the coin, I helped, or whoever was there at the time, with what was going on back home. You know, trying to keep the house clean and
Right.
and help Kelly's husband with their son
Dinners
and all the kinds of things that still have to happen whether you're at home on bed rest or in the hospital. So, you know, that's the kind of things that we're trying to put out there. Besides the products that we have online, we're also trying to give our ladies helpful
Support.
hints on
support.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Helpful hints on what they can do to make it better. So that's our mission, to be
Yes.
your best friend on bed rest.